Okay, is it working? Oh, don't I look tanned? Amazing. Okay, let's see if anyone joins. Oh, I'll put that there. Hello, one person. Who are you? Welcome to Cancun. Two people. Hello. Hello, everyone. Whoever's joining, say hello in the chat. Three people, amazing. And by the way, it is Jurassic Park, Jurassic Fallen Kingdom month. It's not Pride month. It's Jurassic Park, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. So I'm wearing my Jurassic Park t-shirt. Hello, Gemma. Mega Big Saul, how's it going? Oh, today is Sunday, I think. Is it Sunday? I think so. We'll wait a moment, see if anyone else joins, because it's completely unannounced. I literally just did a thing on Instagram like 2 seconds ago. Yes. What are you all up to today on this wonderful, possibly Sunday? Can someone clarify, is it Sunday? I'm not sure if it's Saturday or Sunday or not. How did your washing clothes with soap go? Very well. I cannot wait for the controversy from that video. It's deliberate, by the way, in case anyone is wondering. It's gonna be hate comment fodder. I cannot wait for it. Really looking forward to it. 5:30 in the morning in Sydney. That's ridiculous. What are you doing awake? Oh, watching this. Animals, animals. How's it going? How's Prague today? How was your little trip? I know you told me about it already. It is Sunday. Thanks, Gemma. I have no idea what day it is at the moment. I'm totally confused. Yes, I better realise what day it is before Thursday, because I'm leaving Mexico on Thursday. Amazing. We've got 7 people now. Wonderful. Harwin, how's it going? Yes, you have caught a stream. I remember you from one of the other ones. Welcome back. How are you today? What are you up to? Where are you from again? I can't remember. I know it's summer in Mexico. Once again, I'm on my phone, so I'm attempting to make this work. Good luck. That's it, Monterey. Yes, I thought it was Monterey. I swear, if one more person tells me to go to Monterey, I might actually explode. I'm in the other direction. But definitely, thank you very much for the suggestions. I will most likely look at going there when I come back to Mexico in a few months. Probably Monterey and Guadalajara, because those are probably the 2 places that are most recommended, I would say. Can everyone just say, is the picture and sound okay? Because I had problems with a couple of English lessons this morning, but I think it was more because of them. I've just got a Facebook notification. Go away. Get off the screen. Yeah, I think it was their Wi-Fi more than mine. Okay, JR, thank you, JR, and Megapixel. It is working, which is better than the last one I did in Valladolid, because it was a disaster then. I didn't realise until afterwards. I forgot to ask if it was all good. So, so today is, yes, another live stream, obviously, and I wanted to, I thought I would talk about the trip that I've just done over the last couple of weeks. When I left Mexico City on May the 19th, it is now, I don't know what day it is, 100% Mexicana. It's June the 10th, maybe. So it's probably about 3 weeks that it's taken me to get from Mexico City to Cancun, which is where I am now. And you know, just to clarify, I did mention it in a couple of comments, the pinned comments on previous videos. So YouTube videos, I'm talking about the proper ones. Oh, it's reversed. Oh, never mind. It's because it's on my phone. Never mind. Yeah, so I mentioned in a couple of videos that in terms of time, because I've been traveling so much over the last couple of weeks, I just haven't had the opportunity to keep up to date with videos. So in YouTube world, I've just uploaded the one from Oaxaca. It's horrendous. But I'm actually in Cancun. So since then, I've been to Mérida, Uxmal, Chichen, Itza, Valladolid, Cancun, Isla Holbox, and back to Cancun. So it's been pretty busy over the last couple of weeks. So as you can imagine, there's lots of videos coming. Luckily, I'll have a few days this week where I actually have some spare time. so I can get up to date. So hopefully tomorrow there'll be the Mérida one. There's lots of food in it. Ushmal, Chichen, Itza, 2 from Holbox, hopefully. Although the second one I might not bother with because I'm not actually in it. I will explain later. Yes, so I just wanted to talk about the things that I guess I found during that trip, as in discovered in terms of Mexico travel, compared to the 2 months I spent in Mexico. And look at my tan, it's amazing. This is the best tan I've had in ages, so thank you, Mexico. What's everyone saying? Oh, bollocks. Pardon my French. This is going to get demonetized now because I said that. Top chat. There we go. Okay. Cuba next. Yes. Thursday, I go to Havana. For those of you that have been to Cuba, you may know that there's a problem with Wi-Fi there. So I have got, I don't know where it is, some girl I met in Holbox gave me a little card where you can put a code in, you have to pay for it, there's like an hour left in it, so I'll have to buy one of them to use Wi-Fi. So, but I'm actually probably going to use it as a week to have no social media free week. So I'm going to try and upload as many as the rest of the Mexico videos this week before I go to Havana. So I'm only going to Havana. I'm not planning on going anywhere else. I've booked a hostel for I think 6 nights before I go to Colombia, which I cannot wait for. Yeah, I went to Holbox only for 3 days this week. Actually, I was going to say I would like to have stayed there longer, but I don't think I would. Very nice, great place to go for a short holiday, that sort of thing. But you probably can't see it on my arms, but also my legs. I counted, wait for it, over 100 mosquito bites on one leg yesterday. That's how bad the mosquitoes were. It was literally awful, and filming was impossible. I did film like I said, almost 2 videos there, but it was really difficult in terms of filming. Sleeping was difficult because it's probably my own fault, because the place I stayed in was a really nice hostel, similar to one I stayed in on Gili Air, Indonesia, but it didn't have any mosquito nets. The bed above, and I'll say this in the video, does have a mosquito net, so I was up most nights killing mosquitoes because they seem to be massively attracted to me for some reason. It's a shame men aren't, but never mind. Yeah, and Holbox, so yeah, let's kind of go back in reverse. So Holbox, let's talk about that first. All the stuff I just said, plus getting there was a bit of a palaver in terms of buses. And I touched on this in the Puebla video yesterday. By the way, since then I've learned a lot more about Mexico bus travel than back then. Like I said, it was about 3 weeks ago. There's so many different types of buses you could get. That's one thing that I find complicated about Mexico is, yeah, the bus travel is great in terms of the network and getting around. You can get anywhere on a bus in Mexico, seemingly, but it's very complicated. So there's so many companies, there's so many different classes. People have said there are, really posh buses with, with Wi-Fi, with plugs. I've never found one of them. Where are they? They're elusive. I even got a first class bus last week. I can't remember where it was from, but it had none of that. It was basically exactly the same as the second class bus. Maybe they were lying. I don't know. And what else can I say about Holbox? Although it's bigger than Gili Air, it's like longer. I don't think there's as much to do, and it's quite, how can I say it without being disrespectful, dirty in a way in terms of litter, which you would expect on an island because every island like that all has waste disposal issues. And what else can I say about Holbox? Flooding. So the day I got there, there'd obviously been bad rain the night before because all of the roads were literally like rivers. I'm not exaggerating. It was really difficult. If you go to Holbox, do not take a suitcase. Obviously, I have one. I was considering leaving it in CANCUN and taking another bag, but I didn't. I really wish I did. And even though people told me not to take a suitcase, I did anyway. but it's just impossible to wheel it down these flooded streets. You carry a massive suitcase a long way. Yeah, what do you think of Holbox? Have you been to Holbox, Harwin? What was your opinion? To be honest, I wouldn't go back. I think there are better options in the world, being honest, about in terms of islands. Yeah, I don't think I would go back, to be honest. It was just too stressful. Joseph, you've made. You mean I've made you want to go to Mexico? That's awesome. Good. Are you planning a trip to Mexico? Where would you like to go? Harwin, I had buses with TV, but it only was one channel and it was only music video. Well, if you could let me know what company that is, or you know where these magical buses are, that would be great, because I've spent most of my time getting Oriente second-class buses, largely because they're cheaper. You know, that's one thing. I don't think Mexico buses are value for money compared to other countries, and I know it's wrong of me to compare it with Japan, because obviously it's a completely different country. 17 people. Hello everyone. If anyone's just joined, we're talking about the last few weeks travel review, okay, of the places I've been over the last couple of weeks. Lovely. And anything you want to ask as well in the comments would be great. By the way, the lighting is awful here. There's no lights in this room apart from on the wall. Rubbish. Okay. Yeah, Oriente buses, because they were cheaper, and yeah, value for money. And they just take so long if you don't get a direct express bus. Unnecessary speed bumps on roads. In the middle of nowhere, there'll be speed bumps every 5 meters, and you might as well just walk. Really frustrating. But in terms of being able to get places, yeah, Mexico bus travel's great. Weird, most people like Holbox. Spooky. Hello, Spooky. Maybe I was unlucky, I don't know. The weather was fantastic. That's no contest. The beaches weren't fantastic, if I'm honest. They were very hard. They weren't very, you know, if you go to somewhere like that, you expect like powdery sand and things like that, but they were rock solid. A lot of dirt, and even the sea wasn't particularly, you know, amazing compared to other places that I've been on videos before. But you know, I'm not saying that you shouldn't go to Holbox, because it was a good experience, definitely for a few days, and it was great to get a tan, obviously. The other thing about Holbox is the food, and this is probably a given. That I found the food to be a lot more tourist orientated, which you would expect because it's near Cancun. So I had some really disappointing food at a restaurant. To be honest, I could have made better food than that, and I'm a rubbish cook. But however, there were some places where you could find authentic Mexican food, like panuchos and salbutes, which I absolutely love, by the way. You'll see that in the next video. In Mérida, I had both of them, and they feature in the same video. Yes, it's a food video, kind of. It's a not very good one, because it's very difficult to film food videos by myself. That's why I don't do them. Cylon, would you comment on clarity, crystalline nature of seawater in Cancun as compared to other countries? You know what? I'm unable to do that because I have not been to the sea in Cancun. I only got here yesterday. And I had all sorts of dramas with my Airbnb. The host was in hospital. She didn't answer my messages. I had to stay in a hostel. So it was a drama. So yeah, and to be honest, I don't think I'm going to bother going to the sea in Cancun, because I'm only here to work, effectively. I've got English lessons every day, because I can't teach in Cuba, so I need to make money that way. Yes, I have to make money, believe it or not. These things cost money. You got cochinita or al pastor? You know what, Spooky? I still haven't found anywhere that sells tacos al pastor, pastor, whatever. Where are they? I see every other type of tacos. I specifically looked for al pastor. Nothing. Anywhere. Am I blind? Probably. Yes. Harwin, those buses are in Monterrey. Okay, so they're not in Puebla or that area. Okay. That makes sense. Okay, okay, Harwin. So the buses that you're talking about cost 12 pesos, but is that more like a collectivo are you talking about, or an actual bus? Because the buses I've been getting have all been like 125 pesos, 140 for second class Oriente bus. The most expensive one was the one in that Puebla video, which is 400 and something pesos, which was with AU. Which I quickly learned after I got that bus not to get that bus company again, because I'm guilty. I am guilty. I didn't research it, so it's my own fault. But hopefully the video that I've done will help people in their research. Sometimes you've got to learn from your mistakes. Sometimes I'm not a travel expert. Sometimes these things happen. Sign on. You have to go jump in the seat at the. Yeah, I'm thinking of going to Tulum. So many people have said about going to Tulum. I could potentially go on Wednesday this week because I do have a day free with no lessons. But the question is, can I stand getting another bus? I don't think I can. So I'm not sure. I might do it. I'll see how I feel in the week because a lot of people have told me about Tulum ruins. Oh, you mean those buses? Yeah. So what buses do you mean, Harwin? Because I've got a couple of collectivos, or like local buses in. So like the one I got from Puebla to Cholula was 750. Another one I got somewhere else was 750. I can't remember where that was. I think it was in Mérida. But the problem with collectivos is that generally I have my suitcase with me and it's massive and there's never any room. Spooky, you need to stay in whatever that place is called. I can't say it. All inclusive? Do you not watch my channel? I do not do all inclusives. I'm not a tourist. Yes, I don't believe in all inclusive. I think it's a waste of money. You're not experiencing the country or anything. Yeah, expensive. I cannot afford expensive things at the moment. Yeah, I'm gonna do a video probably this week, hopefully, about how I earn money. I did one ages ago in Japan, but things have changed a little bit, developed, and especially there's a lot more viewers as well. Maybe it'll help you understand that I haven't got a massive pot of money available. I have to work, which is why I don't just travel. And that's one thing that frustrates me because a lot of people say about, oh, but you're traveling, you should love everywhere. I'm not just traveling, I'm working. So, for example, in the Oaxaca video, the reason I was in such a bad mood was because I was working all weekend, the whole time I was there. The place I stayed at had all sorts of problems with water, with connection, you name it. So sometimes you get grumpy when you travel. Sometimes not everywhere is great. Would you rather, let me ask you a question. Would you rather that I pretended that everywhere was okay and amazing, or would you prefer me to be honest and realistic about these things? 19 people now, amazing. If you've just joined, tell me where you're from. What are you up to today? We are talking about the last few weeks. We'll go on to the next place actually. We'll check the chat first. Animals. Flixbus. I've heard of Flixbus. Flixbus has arrived in USA but not in Mexico or Canada yet. Quite needed in Canada for east-west travel coast to coast. So I've got a friend of mine, Flixbus. He used them in Hungary, I think, or across Europe. I've never used them myself. Canada, love Canada. I went to the Rockies about 11 years ago, but I drove. I did a road trip. I had money then, which I don't now. Spooky, people need to understand Mexico is big. They do, and I think I've mentioned it in a couple of videos. I definitely underestimated the size of Mexico before I got here. Probably, realistically, I knew it was big, but I think I underestimated it in terms of travel distances, things like that. So again, I mentioned it in the Puebla video. Sometimes getting flights is cheaper. Well, not cheaper, but better in the long run in terms of your sanity, because I'm really glad I got the flight from Oaxaca to Mérida. Otherwise I would have killed myself, although I did have to go back to Mexico City. So before Holbox I was in Valladolid, and where else was I? If you follow my Instagram you can tell me. I've forgotten. Chichen, Itza, okay, and Valladolid, okay, I'll talk about them. I really liked Valladolid. A lot of people say that it's a town of nothing, but I really liked it. The place I stayed at was gorgeous, even though I had all sorts of problems, including my phone smashing. I'll come onto that a bit later. I'll tell you now, basically I had to get a new phone, which I'm a bit worried about because of the... I'm not sure if the quality is as good in terms of filming, but we'll see. I haven't edited those yet. So Valladolid, yeah, a lot more to do than I expected, and it's very close to Chichen Itza, like it's like 45 minutes on the bus, which again, that was the bus that was 750. 750 pesos, amazing. And you can go to play Los Colorados, the pink sea, lake, river thing. Someone told me about it on here once before. I think it might have been you, Harwin. But unfortunately, I didn't get time to go there. So when I come back, I will probably go back there. Yeah, the Airbnb, lots of problems, but I would stay there again. Chichen Itza, and I bear with me with this one because I didn't like Chichen Itza. Oh my God. Largely because in the past I've been to Xunantunich and Caracol in Belize, Tikal in Guatemala, Uxmal. I went to Uxmal before I went to Chichen Itza, and to be honest with you, I found them a lot more impressive, both in terms of size, in terms of history, in terms of accessibility. That's a good word. So with all of those other ones, you could generally climb pyramids and things like that. A lot more interactive, but with... One sec, I've just got to wipe the camera. I don't know if that's better. Yeah, but with Chichen Itza, it was smaller. Obviously, it's a lot more tourist orientated, and I do say this in the video that I understand that it's a great place for short-term tourists. So if you're on holiday in Cancun or something, you can get a bus for a couple of hours to Chichen Itza. Realistically, you're not going to have time to go to Uxmal and down into Belize to Xunantunich. But if you do have more time, I would recommend going to the other ones rather than Chichen Itza. I still go to Chichen Itza because you have to. It's like going to Paris and not going to the Eiffel Tower, you know? However, it didn't have the same wow factor for me. It might be different for you, I don't know. And I'll talk about that in the video in a bit more detail. So that was those two. Let's just catch up with the comments before we go on to the next one. Hello, 19 people, 20 people now. Wonderful. I'm in a much better mood now, by the way, than I was in the video that I just posted in Oaxaca. And I'm a lot thinner as well. I'm so fat in that video, it's awful. Okay, here's the chat. Let's have a look. We've got some... hello, Vicky Victoria. Viva Cancun. I can't wait for your videos this week. Awesome. Vicky, do you... are you from Cancun? Do you know much about Cancun? Because I've got a bit of a negative view of it, so I would like to know a bit more about it. You know, maybe stuff that isn't so tourist-like, if you know what I mean. So so I'm in, you know that bit in Cancun, it's like a diamond-shaped hexagon, if you like, where the roads are shaped. If you know Cancun, I'm basically on there. So I'm quite central, I suppose. Love you too, Vicky. Spooky. Okay, food. I'm actually quite impressed with myself that I have tried a lot of Mexican food, and I must admit, there's one thing that I've eaten about 4 times. I'm turning into a complete Mexican food addict, which is a good thing. I'm really pleased that's happened because initially in Mexico City, I wasn't really blown away, probably because I had food poisoning for 4 weeks. But since then, I've been fine. So as I mentioned before, panuchos and salbutes. Again, pronunciation, I don't care. And I cover this in the Mérida video, so I won't go into too much detail, but salbutes, love them. I could eat them all day, literally. In fact, I might try and find somewhere today. What else have I had? So, oh God, I can't even remember. Lots of quesadillas, tostadas. I had some other tostadas in somewhere, Valladolid. When I was in Puebla, I really wanted to have mole poblano and samitas, because a friend of mine, wink wink, recommended samitas. Both of them are, like I said in the video, they both originate in Puebla. Oh, I just got a message. What's that? Oh, it's italki. I've got a lesson in 2 hours. Don't forget, everyone. Yeah, but I just didn't get time. That's and again, that's a thing that I'm experiencing at the moment. Slow travel versus fast travel. I'm going to do a video about that this week, um, because I've just not had the opportunity to do as much things as I wanted to. Um, and what else did I have? There was something in Oaxaca that begins with T. Tlayudas. I can't say it. Pretty good, but it wasn't in the video. Um, okay. So yeah, Mexican food, awesome. Um, okay, Rick, I'll come back to you in a second. Yeah, so on the subject of Chichen Itza, yeah, Harwin. So again, I mentioned this in the video. So you can't climb the pyramid at Chichen Itza because of the amount of tourists damaging it, which is understandable. And especially when I went around the back, you could see how it was all eroded, which is really disappointing. But I guess that's what happens with tourism. So yeah, I understood that. That's cool. Um, okay, Rick from Los Angeles. Hello, LA. Awesome. How's LA today? I've got a friend who is currently in. Oh no, he left LA. He's in Vegas now. One thing none of you YouTubers talk about is the crime problem in Mexico, and I've been all over Mexico. Awesome. What's your impression on that topic? So the reason I haven't really covered it, I think I mentioned it in like one of the first videos, like the first impressions one. But to be honest, I've not had any issues in terms of pickpocketing on subway in Mexico City, even in smaller places like Oaxaca, etc. Part of me would expect there to be more crime there because of it's a poorer area. But to be honest with you, maybe I'm not fully aware of it because I'm not from here, but I've not witnessed anything, I've not experienced anything. Rick, what are your views on crime? Have you experienced anything at all? What particular areas are an issue? I would like to do a video about that actually. I was going to do it when I was in Mexico City. I was going to go to Tepito, the drug dealer area, and see what I can do without being murdered. But in the end, I ran out of time. So when I go back there, I might try and do a video focusing on crime. It would be great if I could interview some people from Mexico City as well about their issues. That's one thing I'm thinking of doing. Yeah, but to be honest with you, and talking about drugs, so I half expected to be offered drugs left, right, and centre walking around Mexico City, but guess how many times that happened? 0. Whereas in London, I can walk down my street where I used to live and be offered drugs all the time. I'm not just talking weed, I'm talking more stronger things. Yeah. Okay. Hello, Solar Smile. I remember you. Aren't you from Germany? Yes. Are Mexicans friendly? What's your impression? What can I say on that one? On the whole, yes. And I think the people that watch these videos and are on this live stream now are a perfect example of what Mexico has to offer in terms of politeness, helpfulness, friendliness, that sort of thing. Because even though obviously I don't speak Spanish, I think the people that I attempt to speak Spanish to do appreciate it, even though obviously my pronunciation is completely wrong, and my general sentence structure is also completely wrong. It's so hot in here. But yeah, everyone's very friendly, I think. Especially older people, I've noticed. Which in a lot of countries, especially like Japan and China, the older people tend to be ridiculously rude. But Mexico, it's been the opposite. So, and again, like with the crime thing, I've not really had any problems, except maybe with a couple of bus drivers who get a bit impatient, but I can understand why they do. Yeah. Spooky. Crime is only in drug cartel areas. Yes, I did think that might be the case. I don't think I've been to any. If PR4470, hello. If you ever go to northern Mexico, go to Copper Canyon in the state of Chihuahua. Someone else mentioned about Chihuahua on another live stream, but they said nothing was there, so I decided not to go there. Plus, it's in the other direction. So definitely for another trip. I'm just going to see if the lighting is better the other way around. 1 second. Oh. Let's see. Oh, it's better. At least I think it is. For me, it is anyway. Yes, this isn't good. This isn't a good angle. Never mind. Yes. Okay, let me go back to the chat. Okay. Oh my god, I'm going backwards. Take the Chichen train ride, you will see beautiful landscapes. Okay, thank you for the recommendation. Is it anywhere near Monterey or Guadalajara? Because that might be somewhere I might go in future. Rick, actually, yes, kidnapping attempt in CANCUN in the resort several years ago. Interesting. Ah, yes, I think I heard about that. That rings a bell, actually. One reason I don't stay in resorts, largely because of the awful food. There's a video on my channel from like 2 years ago. Well, not 2 years ago, when I did one about an all-inclusive I did in Egypt. Worst experience of my life. Toby Glaze, hi. The Caribbean of Mexico is popular and beautiful, but you considered another beach destinations in the Pacific Ocean. In the Pacific. So I've been to Hawaii, I've been to Easter Island, which are both awesome. Great beaches in Hawaii. Yes, but Hawaii, actually, I didn't realise this at the time. It was like 11 years ago I was there. But there is a lot of homelessness, a lot of drug problems. Drugs and homelessness seems to be a theme today. Solar Smile, yes, I remember you. I'm from Germany. I'm not, you are. By the way, I'm not looking at moving to Germany anymore. At least I don't think I am. Yeah. And unless I can get a few more income streams, then I may look at that. You're courting disaster inserting yourself into a drug dealing area. Yeah, so I was thinking that too. That's one of the reasons why I didn't do the video. Because, yeah, the less said about that one, the better. But you never know. I mean, I wouldn't, go in there obviously filming or, talking to drug dealers on the street. That's just insane. I mean, in terms of interviewing people, I mean, like, in the Zacalo in Mexico City, or friends of mine in Mexico City, for example, I would talk to them about crime, that sort of thing. That's what I mean. So does that mean those little dogs come from there? I don't know. Yeah, Acapulco, all those places. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, lots of people have mentioned them before, but like I said, on this trip, I haven't got time. Oh my God, is Kieran here? Kieran is here. Watford FC. Awesome, you made it. Even though you're late. Yeah, Kieran is a Patreon. Does everyone know what Patreon is? So that's one way that you can support YouTubers in continuing what they're doing, because obviously it costs money. A lot of larger YouTubers do it, and it's a large income. So I've got 5,000. How much? I'm just checking on my laptop. 5,647, because I lost a subscriber when I uploaded the Oaxaca video because I'm negative in it. Never mind. But yeah, so if every one of those subscribers donated $1, I would have $5,000 a month to spend on amazing places I could go to. Obviously you don't have to, because these videos will always be free, but it's just an option if you did want to. And it's great, and Kieran will probably back me up on this, in the patrons that I've got, we talk all the time. There's Patreon only updates. Sometimes there's videos earlier than regular YouTube. We talk on Instagram, my personal Facebook, things like that. So it's up to you what you want to do. Lots of people are leaving since I mentioned money. Don't panic. One thing I could actually do is make these videos chargeable, so you have to charge. But I'm not going to do that. You have to pay, to watch them. It's never going to happen. But enough on Patreon. Hello, Kieran. 1 second. Let's go back to... Oh, bollocks. Yeah, Kieran, what are you up to today? It's Sunday night in England, right? England. The World Cup is coming. Awesome. Yes, good. Cylon. Yes, we understand each other. Sorry I wasn't clear. I'm not going to go into Tepito with a camera. That's for sure. I mean Mexican Pacific Ocean. Oh, okay, right, gotcha. I thought you were talking about Pacific Ocean in general. So smile. So you change your mind because of money or lack thereof. There's pity, but I can understand. Have you ever thought about renting a property, then list it on Airbnb? I can do that. I thought I had to own the property to rent a property on Airbnb. I don't know. Yeah, so on the subject of money, so like I'm doing a video, I will do a video this week detailing exactly what I earn. A lot of YouTubers don't do that. They're funny about that. I don't care. I did a video because I don't earn that much. It's not megabucks. Yeah, so at the moment my main incomes are teaching, which is probably about, say, 60% of what I earn. YouTube, Patreon, and basically there's some money that I lent to people in the UK about 3 years ago that I'm getting back every month, which will be coming back for a long time yet. There's also something else, because I've now joined FameBit, I can potentially do influencer marketing, and there is something potentially exciting coming soon, but I'm waiting for developments with that. It involves staying at very nice places, and that's all I can say on the matter. Patreons will hear first what that is. Okay, so you hear all the behind the scenes stuff first. Yeah, but also, you know, I've also got to think about YouTube as well. So think of it like a business. So if I go back to Mexico City, realistically, people will watch the videos because the Mexico City ones are very popular. If I go to somewhere like Armenia, no one's going to watch them. Quite simple. So you have to think of YouTube like a business in a way. And even without that, I wouldn't mind going back to Mexico City because I was quite happy there, to be honest. Or Puebla. Yeah. Animals. This is a completely unrelated question. Is it true that in the UK, Trump means fart? Kieran, can you answer this question for animals? Yes, it does. But Trump is... these days, you wouldn't say Trump. It's quite old-fashioned. My mum would probably say Trump. I wouldn't say it. I would say fart. Or what else would you say? Guff. Maybe in the 80s you would say guff. Okay, there are courses about how to earn money on YouTube. Oh yes, I've seen all of them. But the reality is a lot of them are complete bullshit, because most digital nomads, the typical thing to do is fly to Chiang Mai in Thailand, set up a drop shipping website where you source products from China and sell them across the world. Or what's the other one? FBA, fulfilled by Amazon. And to be honest with you, a lot of these courses on things like Udemy even, or you see those Facebook ads about learn how to travel for free. It's rubbish. It's all a scam. Yeah, a lot of people are successful with it, but most of them are scams. And all these ebooks about how I became a digital nomad. It's bollocks, basically. But I'll look into that Airbnb thing. To be honest, I haven't got enough money to rent an apartment in, say, Germany. I don't earn enough to do that. Which is another reason why I'll stay in Mexico. Trump word is coming back. Yeah, I wouldn't use Trump to talk about fart. Anyway, back to the trip. So before Valladolid, I was in Uxmal. Like I said, brilliant. Much bigger, much quieter, easier to get to, more interesting, more impressive, more everything. The Pyramid of the Magician, I've always wanted to see that. That will be in the video coming some point this week, probably. It's, yeah, next one is Mérida. Next one after that is Uxmal. With the exception of the sitting down talking videos that I've said about the money thing and the other one, fast travel, slow travel. So hot. Yeah, Uxmal, brilliant. Totally advise going there. Mérida, loved it. Did I talk about Mérida already? I don't think I did. Yeah, great place. The place I stayed at was awesome, top notch. And before that, and that was it. and then it was Oaxaca, which I hated. Yeah, what's everyone's opinion of Oaxaca City? Because a lot of people, opinion seems to be divided. A lot of people told me to go there. Other people said don't bother because it's rubbish and it's awful. And to be honest, I agree with the second lot of people. Nothing to do. Yes, you need to go to. How do I say that word? Is it Chiapas? I don't know. I don't know. It's a Mexican pronunciation. Um, to see good mine too. Oh, like Palenque, places like that. Do you mean? Yeah. Again, I was going to go there, but due to time, I had to fly from Oaxaca to Mérida. I couldn't. I couldn't do it this time. But that's Palenque has always been on my list as well. There's another one. I wanted to go to Villahermosa as well. Tabasco. So many places. Awesome. Cuernavaca, whatever that is. City of Eternal Spring. Where's that? Are you talking about Oaxaca? Never heard of it. I was going to go to Monte Alban, but because of the issues I had with the lack of sleep, because of the no air conditioning or anything, or nothing working, I didn't bother. Okay, near CDMX. Yeah, never heard of it, but I will see what I can do. MJG. Didn't we speak before? Didn't you come on to another one? You're from Rio, aren't you? No, you went to Rio. That's it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, so maybe I'll go back there when I go to CDMX. Back to CDMX. Or Puebla. I don't know. I really want to go back to Asia. I miss Asia like crazy. Somewhere like Hong Kong, Singapore, Tokyo. Ugh. Yeah. MJG, yes, of course I remember. We were in Rio at the same time, February 2012. Yeah, we only just met on YouTube. What are the odds? And it was also for our 30th birthdays, wasn't it? At the same time. How crazy is that? Major coincidence. Madness. Yeah, we both turned 30. We are old. We are now 36. Mental. Awesome. So, before I go on to the last bit, I wanted to ask, where's everyone planning on going this year in terms of their travels, the rest of the year? We're almost halfway through the year. Yeah, what's your plans? Maybe you can give us some ideas, or maybe you've been to places, or maybe you're planning to go to places that I've been to before, that I've done videos on, that I can tell you about. An honest opinion, not a fake opinion like a lot of YouTubers. It's amazing when it was rubbish. Matthew Tasker, you're late again. Once again, I'm late to a stream. The joys of time zones. Yes. The thing is, I can't do one any earlier because I normally have lessons in the morning, and I just cannot function in the morning. And if I do it in the evening, there's no point, unless you're in Australia or Hong Kong, or somewhere. Yeah, so where are you going this year, everyone? Let me know in the comments. Rick, you're going to Maui. Awesome. So, yeah, have you been to Hawaii before? I've been to Kauai, Maui, the Big Island, and Oahu, the main ones. I don't know how I did it, to be honest, because it was 11 years ago, 2007. I got a flight between each island, and I rented a car on each island. How I afforded that, I don't know. I must have been pooing gold. Yeah, but Maui was probably my least favourite, I think. But that was only because of the weather. I think the weather was awful when I was there. But Kauai I loved because of Jurassic Park. I actually went to the location where the original Jurassic Park gate was built. And what else did I do? Flew over the waterfall in a helicopter. Things like that. Pearl Harbor, best thing ever in terms of learning about history, that sort of thing. And I'm sure there was other things I did, but it was 11 years ago. I can't remember yesterday, let alone 11 years ago. Guadalajara, so Guadalajara seems to be coming up a lot. What is in Guadalajara that I don't know about? Awesome. Harwin, I'm going to visit Sinaloa. Where the hell is that? I've never heard of it. Oh God, what's Solar Smile talking about? 11 time zones in Russia. Yes, ridiculous. Most of my students are in Moscow, obviously. I've got 2 in Siberia, 1 in the south, all over Russia. Yes, Matthew Tasker, you took the words right out of my mouth. Rent a car, do a road trip around the island. That's exactly what I did. The Circle Island Drive, is that what it was called? Oh my God, my memory is coming back. Yes. It was something like that. And there's a beach up the north of the island that was where the first episode of Lost was filmed with the plane crash. So I pretended that I was in Lost. Because at that time, Lost was on TV. Younger people may not know what that is. Okay, Sinaloa is in West Coast Mexico. Hang on a minute, let's go back again. Oh my God, loads of messages. Vacations are coming. Lol. Lol indeed. I'm glad my vacation is over. Well, apart from Cuba and Colombia. But basically Colombia, I am working. Yes, I'll be filming videos, but my main focus will be saving money after the last couple of weeks of rinsing my bank account. That is the reality of digital nomad life, unfortunately. Sometimes you have to do that. But I'll still be like filming two days a week probably. Let's go back. Animals is going to Western Canada. Love it. 2006, Calgary, Banff, Jasper, Lake Louise, Yoho National Park. Brilliant. One of the best places I've ever been in terms of views. Again, I rented a car, road trip. Port Angeles, Washington State. Washington is somewhere I want to go to in terms of DC, not Washington State. That's right, isn't it? I don't know America. Netherlands, never been. Sweden. Isle of Man. I think you mentioned Isle of Man before. What is so special about the Isle of Man? I have no idea. Never been there. New Zealand. Amazing. Spent 3 months there in 2005. I bought a van with 2 friends of mine. Yes, I'd love to go back to New Zealand. I use an app called Turo, like Airbnb for cars. Awesome. You know all the apps. Rick would like to collaborate with you for my company. With me or Matthew Tasker? What is your company? Awesome. Tell me more. Or send me a message on Instagram, whatever you want to do. Sinaloa, yeah, I've got that bit. Mazamitla, a small town in Jalisco. Okay. I'm itching to get the summer season over with to start making plans again. Summer season. I never know what job you do, Matthew Tasker. But you've got a big plan coming up in the future. Haven't you? Yes, I think you just said about that. Yeah, Hong Kong, Singapore, Cape Town, California are ridiculous. Yeah, Rick, send me a message on Instagram or something, or an email. My email address is in the all of the descriptions of my videos right down the bottom. Cool. I'll be interested to hear more. That is something, like what I said earlier about influencer marketing. It's kind of what that's about. Working with someone, basically. But it's in the pipeline. I don't know if it's going to happen. Ricky Bock. Hello, Ricky. How's it going? What are you planning to do in Cuba? You know what? If you can tell me some things to do in Cuba, that'd be. I'm only going to Havana, because the reason being, I don't want to stay there too long with the Wi-Fi issue, because I have English lessons to do. I need to earn money, and the second thing is because I've done so much traveling in the last 3 weeks. I'm literally, my energy levels are depleted. I'm exhausted. I need to just chill somewhere for a bit. So one thing you might not know is I love cars. And obviously Havana is full of the old American cars. And there's a lot of tours you can do I've heard about and I've seen in videos that I would like to do. But generally, anything to do with colonial buildings or the history of Cuba in terms of everything that happened in the past with what's his name and what's his name. My brain's completely gone today, and its relationship with America and Russia, all that sort of history stuff I'm interested in. But anything else you can suggest would be more than welcome. Thank you very much, if you can do that. Al Royce, yes, DC is in the eastern part. Yeah, got it, and it's in the west. I knew that, but I'm just being stupid today. My brain is frazzled. So along with Washington DC, so if I go back to Mexico City, more than likely, I would do trips out of there and back. So potentially Washington DC and New York, where I've never been, will be possible YouTube trips and filming. Total cost should be about $5,000. That's ridiculous. Awesome. I'll look forward to your email, Rick. Harwin, Spain. Oh God, Spain is classic England tourist destination. Ricky, last time I went to Cuba, they were starting to implement Wi-Fi. Oh, okay, yeah. So they're starting to implement Wi-Fi's in the casas there, yeah. So I have read that, and when I was looking for accommodation, there were some places that did have it, but from the reviews that I read on it, yes, I do research things, amazingly, sometimes. A lot of people were saying that it was intermittent or it didn't work, things like that. We'll see what happens. Like I said earlier, I don't know if you were here, Ricky, then, I did get when I was in Holbox, on Holbox, correct preposition, David, or on an island, not in an island. Yes, I met a German girl there who had been to Havana as well, and she gave me one of those card things where you pay for the Wi-Fi. It had an hour left on it. So I will start off with that, and I'll get another one. But I am planning to have a bit of a social media break while I'm in Havana. I think that would be good for me. It's a bit of an experiment as well. Okay, defo check out Trinidad and Cienfuegos. Oh, I can't say that. In something fire, yeah, in Cuba. And if you like oh, awesome. Thank you, Ricky. I will definitely write. As soon as I'm done, I'm going to write that on my notepad thing on my phone, so I remember that. In terms of getting there from Havana, is it long distance? Because after the last few weeks, I don't want to look at the inside of another bus for at least 10 years. Except maybe Japan buses, they're great. What's everyone talking about? Is Matthew Tasker causing carnage again? Yes. Okay. Yes, Monterey is. I'm so sweaty. It's boiling hot doing this. So in terms of the general review of those places that I've been, have I enjoyed the trip? Yes, of course I have. It's been brilliant largely because CDMX is one aspect of Mexico, and it's been interesting for me to see the different sides of Mexico as I've gone from Puebla to Oaxaca to Mérida to Valladolid to Cancun. Lots of differences in terms of food, in terms of people, in terms of ease of getting around, things like that. My top places were, not including Mexico City, I would say would be Puebla, definitely, because like I said in the video there, it is somewhere that, it was quite homely. I felt quite at home there. It's somewhere that I potentially would stay for a long period in terms of living there. The only thing with Puebla is that in terms of doing trips out of there, I would have to probably go back to Mexico City on a bus for 2 hours and then get a flight. Not the end of the world, but yeah, and I met some nice people in Puebla. You never know. She or he or they might appear on future videos. You never know. I just let the cat out of the bag there. A little bit, I can't talk. Awesome. What's everyone on about? Okay, everyone's having their own conversation. Fantastic. Did Matthew Tasker just recommend Volaris or Interjet? Oh my god. So Norwegian had flights from Los Angeles to Madrid non-stop. Okay. I liked Volaris. It was cool. Good airline, I think. I'm flying with Wingo, I think. No, Aero Mexico to Havana, and then I think it's Wingo from Havana to Bogota, probably. Okay, Cuba. So, well, they do have buses in Cuba, but when I went, everything was organised by my casa hosts. They can organise shared taxis. I'm all around Cuba. Okay, interesting. So I'm staying in a hostel. I've heard that hostels aren't good in Cuba. So we'll see what happens. It's a bit like countries like, what countries like Kyrgyzstan and Ukraine. The hostels were not good. I think a lot of people with hostels expect party hostels. I don't expect that. It's more like a house, like a casa. Yes, awesome. So yeah, so Puebla the best place, probably closely followed by Mérida, in terms of places that I would move to, long term. But realistically, I think I'll go back to Mexico City purely because video opportunities. There's so much more I want to do there. I prefer bigger cities. Maybe I'll divide my time between Puebla and Mexico City. Unless, of course, I fall in love with Medellin or Bogota and stay in Colombia. I don't know. It's difficult to make plans. Okay, I've got an hour until my lesson. That's fine. Here's a fun question. If you had free checked baggage allowance for flights but weren't sure if you need it, would you do it anyways? Or a month-long trip? I don't get it. If you had free checked baggage allowance for flights. Oh, okay. Do you mean in terms of what you would spend money on? Would you go on a long trip? Oh, I don't get it. What are you on about, Matthew Tasker? Oh, God. I hate airlines that don't have free checked baggage allowance. I avoid them like the plague. Oh, no, for a month-long trip. I thought you said or a month-long trip. Right. If you had free checked baggage allowance for flights but weren't sure if you needed it, would you do it anyways for a month-long trip? I still don't get what you mean. Does anyone have a clue what Matthew Tasker's on about? Yeah, if I had free checked baggage allowance, I would do a month trip. But even without free checked baggage, I would still do a month trip. What difference does it make? I don't get it. I don't think Al Royce gets it either. Are you drunk, Matthew? Madness, madness. Okay, awesome. Matt, what do you mean, lol? No one knows, and he seems to have disappeared. He's not answering. Where's he gone? I need to go to the toilet in a minute. I could just leave you talking and come. No, I'll wait till afterwards. And Megapixel's still here. Why is everyone suddenly talking at the same time? Oh my god. But why would I take two flights? Oh, okay. Matthew, yes, gifts to trade and gifts to bring back. Gifts. That's a contentious subject. Obviously, I don't buy souvenirs or gifts because I have no home to go to put them in. Oh, Matthew's typing. Okay. Pack light or have a suitcase milestone. What's a suitcase milestone? Oh, I get it. Oh, millstone. I can't even read today. What is wrong with me? Yeah. So I am. Originally, when I first started this in November 2016, I think I had about 23 kilograms in my suitcase. But now it's about 17 generally, which is still too heavy. I have 4 jackets for colder countries, too many t-shirts, hair straighteners, which I'm going to need again soon. My hair's growing, which is good. Yeah. Let me show you something. Oh, God. I haven't been able to do laundry in weeks, apart from washing it in showers with soap, like I did in the last video. I washed it all in Holbox, but it wasn't dry by the time I left, so then it was all smelling in my suitcase again, so I had to wash it all over again. Brilliant. Madness, madness. Get that soap out. What soap? I left it in Oaxaca. So probably shower gel is probably going to be the thing. Where is my new cat? What new cat? Is everyone very drunk today? I don't know what you're talking about. I had a cat in Oaxaca, yeah, about 3 weeks ago. So get with the program, everyone. The videos I upload are about 3 weeks in the past. This is real time, okay? Yeah, that cat is long gone. I don't know where that cat is now. That was a long time ago and a very long distance away. Since then, there's been other cats. 6 of them, I might add. In Valladolid, I had Miguel. I can't remember the other names of them, but Miguel was cuter. He slept on the bed with me all night, one night in Valladolid. Yeah, I don't know the name of that other cat. It was a bit miserable. There is one here, and it's pooed on the Airbnb host's bed. Oh well, never mind. Right, okay, let's clarify Matthew Tasker. Okay, everyone concentrate. Okay, basically, as I'm flying business class, I get free checked bags. But last time when I traveled for 6 weeks, okay, I'm keeping track so far. I only had a big backpack because I was on budget airlines. Okay, so but this time in business class, I wouldn't have to worry. But should I stick to being carry-on only? I still don't understand. Basically, as I'm flying business class, I get free checked bags. But last time when I traveled for 6 weeks, I only had a big backpack because I was on. Oh, so when you had the big backpack, did you do carry-on? Because you didn't want to pay for baggage, yeah? This time in business class, I wouldn't have to worry about that because you get the free baggage allowance. Should I stick to being carry-on only? Well, if you get the free baggage allowance, why wouldn't you use it? That's my view. I've never done carry-on only, purely because I've always got a suitcase. Yeah, and Spirit Airlines, don't even get me started on them. When I flew from LA to Dallas and back again last year, you have to pay for carry-on. So I put it inside my check-in and just only pay for one of them. Genius. Yes, but I got scorned by AirAsia X and American Airlines. Oh, for taking your backpack on as carry-on. That's a good question, actually. So for me, if something has wheels, it goes in the hold. It's check-in baggage. It's not carry-on. Because, the amount of times where you get on a plane, and maybe you're one of the last ones because you're not one of them idiots that queues up for half an hour. Hands up if you're one of those idiots. Not me. Yeah, and you can't get your stuff in because someone's put a stupid suitcase with wheels in the overhead bin. So annoying. So, 1 second. This is carry-on. Yes, my cheap-ass bag that has all my camera stuff in, and that is the extent of the camera equipment. Right? There's no camera case, nothing. The stand. Anyway, so that is hand luggage. Yeah, if it's got wheels, it goes in the checked-in baggage bit, whatever you call it. Has anyone seen Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom yet? It's not out in Mexico yet, and even then it will be in Spanish. But I've watched most of it on YouTube, so that's right. Yeah, I'm hungry too, Harwin. I'm going to go in a minute because I'm starving. For the bag being too big or too heavy, yes. Yeah, carry-on is better, Solar Smile, but I guess for short trips, perfect. But in my case, at the moment, because I've been, the coldest I've been is like -5. I think it was in Korea or Japan, one of them, and Ukraine. Actually, no, it wasn't that cold there. The hottest I've been is 38 degrees in Mérida, I think it was. So I have a wide variety of clothing. So I need cold stuff. I need warm stuff. I could fly to a cold country in a couple of months, and I would need my cold stuff again. So I have to carry all that crap around, including my Brazil beach towel. Which, if MJG is still here, I got that in Rio, Ipanema, from one of them women on the beach, and it's been with me ever since 2009. That was the first time I was in Rio. Amazing. I just thought I'd show you that. Okay. Osprey 50-litre backpack. I never understand with backpacks about the litre thing. I don't know. I don't know if something is 20 litre, 50 litre. What do you pour water on it? I don't know. Madness. One last question. Have I tried mole yet? No, I haven't. So, like I said, I was going to have it in Puebla, but I never got around to it. But I will. If not this week, I will, when I come back, definitely will, because it looks right up my street. The whole chocolate thing, amazing. Did Al just mention about films in English? Well, that's good, because everyone I speak to tells me it will be in Spanish, but clearly not. That's fine. Yeah, it's out in LA next week, yeah. So in England, everyone's watching it already. One of my English students in Russia watched it already. It's been out for 3 days. So annoying. Why do these countries get it so early? It's not fair. Even though the thing with Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is that they have literally released the entire film in all of the different trailers. So I know what happens. It's crazy. And you can see everything on YouTube. Yes, spoiler alert. Awesome. Okay, my voice is completely gone, so I'm going to go. So has anyone got any last little things they want to mention? You can, if you want to continue your conversation with Matthew Tasker, just go to his channel. Or his Instagram, I imagine. And I'm sure he'll be on the next one. And so the next live stream I do will probably be in Colombia, I guess. Yeah, everyone subscribe to Matthew Tasker's channel. No one subscribes to channels these days. It's so annoying. Yeah, and also if you have subscribed, well, obviously you have because you're watching this, but click the little bell as well, because then you get a notification. A lot of people don't know that. Yes, and follow my Instagram, because people that say to me, "Oh, so how's Puebla?" and I'm like, "That was weeks ago." Obviously haven't followed my Instagram, because they're real-time updates on there and behind-the-scenes things. And just one last thing. So I did mention earlier, my phone smashed in Valladolid, so I had to buy a new phone. Specification-wise, it's pretty much the same, but the first video with this new phone is Chichen Itza. I have looked at some of the footage. There's a problem with it keeps, as I'm doing a panning shot, Matthew Tasker might know about these things, I know nothing about filming. The focus keeps changing, and also the light changes as well. Most shots it's fine, but there's some which are a problem. So even on a time-lapse, motion time-lapse, the lighting will change as the time, which looks stupid, or the focus changes. How can I fix that, if anyone knows anything about phones? I film on the DJI app, by the way. Okay, bye, animals. Speak to you soon. Thank you very much. I have a friend in Colombia. Awesome. Thanks, Mega Big Store. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Harwin, yes. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. Even if some people click the bell, it's a disaster. It doesn't work. Okay, so Matthew Tasker. Yeah, so I already use the DJI app with my stabilizer, so I never use the regular phone camera because it's shit. But even with, oh, sorry about my language, but even with the DJI app, it happened with this phone. It didn't happen with my last one. Well, we'll talk on Instagram, I'm sure. So I think I'm gonna have to do a lot more stationary shots, unless I can get my old phone fixed, which I don't know when I'm gonna be able to do or afford to do. Let's start a GoFundMe page to get David a new phone. Awesome. Yes. Hello. Okay. Hello, JR. Oaxaca was tough to watch. Yes, but it's realistic, honest travel. Not every day is perfect when you travel. Some days are crap. And I just wanted to highlight that. So I'm looking forward to checking the hate comments after this, which will all feature in the next hate comment video. Hopefully they'll be poorly spelt with awful grammar. Beautiful. Okay, I'm off. Thanks for watching, everyone. Goodbye. See you soon.